Now, do you know today's February 29th? What's special about February 29th? So what's the rarest day in the calendar? We do the calculations. 30th. So February 29th occurs in 24.25% of all years. How did I figure that out? It really should be 25%. So why is it 24.25%? Because the Gregorian calendar leaves out a leap year every 100 years, except for the hundreds that are multiples of 4. So in 2000, there was a leap year. In 1900, there wasn't. So that's every 25 minus 3/4 of every 25th year. So 3/4 of 4%, right, is a percent? No, 3/4 of a percentage, basically. 3/4. Yeah, 3/4 of 1%, which is 0.75%, which comes out to 24.25%. I have the numbers over here. I did the calculations before. It works out. So that's pretty rare. It's less than a quarter of the time, but just less than a quarter of the time. What other days of the Hebrew calendar? Does the Hebrew calendar have such days that are also not always existent? So the answer is yes, the 30th day of Adar. Whenever a Stam Adar or Adar Sheni, that is the Adar before Nisan, is always 29 days long. When we have a leap year, we add Adar Rishon. And Adar Rishon is always 30 days long. And then you have people born in either Adar Rishon or Adar Sheni. And then they got to celebrate their birthdays in regular years. So you just smash them all together. The guy born in Adar, 17 Adar Rishon and 17 Adar Sheni, they have the same birthday, 17 Adar. So that day technically exists. Okay, that's the assumption. But the 30th day of the first Adar doesn't have an equivalent in a Stam year. Stam year, there's where do you put the 30th of Adar? What's his birthday? The 1st of Nisan? So I guess, yeah, that's basically what you could do. So the 30th of Adar occurs in 36.84% of years. How to do the calculation? 7 out of every 19. That's the formula for how do we add leap years. It's actually fixed. Every 7 out of 19 years. Years 3, 6, 8, 11, 14, 17, 19. Remember the mnemonic? Basically, you skip every third year except for year 8 and year 19. So 3, 6 instead of 9, we'll do it early 8. Now we're off by 1. So it's 11, 14, 17, and not year 20, 19. Just 2 years later. So that's the rule. So 7 out of 19 comes out to 36.84%. So February 29th is rarer than the 30th of Adar. Next is the 30th of Mar Cheshvan. 30 Mar Cheshvan is a day added when the year is full. Doesn't matter if it's a leap year or not. It doesn't matter if that's basically the rule. We sometimes have to add a day to the year. Mar Cheshvan is usually Haser, 29 days long, but sometimes there's a 30th day of Mar Cheshvan. How often does that occur? According to the common calendar, 40.21% of the time. So that makes it that 30th Adar is more common than the 30th. 30 Mar Cheshvan is more common than the 30th of Adar and February 29th. Lastly, we have 30 Kislev, which is in all full years and Kisidra years. It's only left off when we have a year when we want to subtract a day. So the 30th of Kislev occurs in 69.77% of years, which makes it quite common. That's close to 70% of the time there's a 30th day of Kislev, but not every single year. This year, for example, there's no 30 Kislev. Okay, there you go. So, and the rule is if there is no 30 Kislev, there's no 30 Mar Cheshvan. And if there is a 30th day of Mar Cheshvan, there's also a 30th day of Kislev. Okay. The Minastam, there's a 30 Kislev, no 30 Mar Cheshvan. So we can subtract from Kislev or we could add to Mar Cheshvan. So now we understand the Stamazoi.